The concept of closet chant is basically that chanting in the closet, well, in the gay closet. But it started out, I've watched pieces in the past about sexuality and whatnot. And because I'm a bit stuck up, so I felt that they didn't do justice to the topic. And I thought to myself, what's the use of me complaining all the time that this is not done or this should be there? Let me finally challenge myself and actually do the piece which I feel I need to project certain things that were not projected. So I got down on the drawing board and I failed because now I started creating someone else's life. Then I came back to the self. And then I was like, well, I'm gay. I've experienced shit in the past. I'm sorry for my beautiful English. And then I started devising a piece that spoke to my challenges as a gay man in South Africa, as a gay black man in South Africa, as a black man who's a Christian, who's a traditionalist, who's an artist. And then I started bringing the self in the piece. So I thought to myself that I will either make it the sobby kind of story, the sad kind of story, or am I going to make it something that's going to be enjoyed by people, even in its underlying tones of seriousness or things which are heavy and hectic. So then I started devising, but I wanted to keep it very monotone. I wanted to keep it very funny, but not playing the comedy, but I wanted to be myself. I wanted to put really the self. So at moments in the piece, I'm just myself. I'm not talking as anybody or putting on a character. I'm myself. But in that and in the laughing and in the comedy, there's undertones of messages that I'm projecting. Especially now later, having done it before, I think it's only now where I found the crux of what I'm trying to say with the piece. And I can't put it into words, but I hope it's visible from the performer side to the audience's side.
On the topic of Indigenous audiences,
Yeah.
how do you think your piece either speaks to that or moves away from that, encourages it, after that whole ideology of Indigenous dominance?
We forever forced to categorize stuff. That's what I ran away from. But a lot of people are receiving that from me. We're always labeling things. We label people who are homosexuals, we call them gays and lesbians. We're labeling theatre. Why can't it just be theatre? You know, I'm the type of artist who uses a lot of images in his devising. I use a lot of images, paintings, music, you know, I've got a lot of influences. So I fail to understand why people are going to be categorizing the work into indigenous, into ritual theatre, into such stuff. It's not. It may have a couple of factors from such worlds, but it's not. It's a piece of theatre. It's universal. Someone who's in France can relate to it because I'm talking about sexuality, which is something which is general, it's common, it's all around the world, you know. But I guess with the elements of me being a traditionalist and in the near future being a sangoma, people tend to think that it's ritual theatre. People tend to think it's all about ancestors and whatnot. People think it's about black people. It's not about black people. It's not about anyone. If you think this piece is about you, then you have to find where you fit in the world. You know, I'm not focusing on anybody. I'm not pointing the gun at anybody. I'm not pointing the knife at anybody. I just wanted to express myself. I just wanted to express the truth I think I have and what I want to see theatre. And I hope people can relate to it because you're not guaranteed with audiences, let alone just people in general.
Speaking on the topic of audiences,
Mm.
you have a lot of engagement
Yeah.
during your piece, but not engagement in the sense that you are specifically asking the audience a question.
Mm.
But people feel physically nature.
Yes.
Feel almost compelled to join in. So you get people chanting, laughing, helping out. How does that kind of factor into the message and the reception of that message?
For me, that shows that I'm on the same pedestal as everybody else. They're understanding what's happening in this world that they're brought into. For me, when I ask a question during the show, I keep on saying yes, no, maybe, and I don't wait for that person to answer. But yesterday, someone did answer, and they said no, and I said no, and I thought of it and I let it go, because that person has their own story going through their mind. They could also have a closet chant of their own, you know. But if it means people join me when I'm chanting. I did invite them into this closet where things are different, where things are thought out differently. I say in the piece, my mind in here, I can't live according to theories of theorists who are long gone. You know, that's why I don't believe a man is a person who's heterosexual or a man is a person who just has kids and a wife. For me, that doesn't constitute a man. There's more. And why should we live according to what people before Christ thought men were, you know? So if it means people come and chant with me, hey, come and chant with me. I'm open. I won't speak for everybody else because they're also trying to express themselves in a certain way. If I was a writer, then I would have written a book. I am a musician, but I wouldn't write songs about my sexuality. But I perform and I create theater and I create a piece whereby I feel it's a certain medium that I can project my stories. But in that same medium, the reason why I say it shouldn't be boxed into ritual theater is because I use a lot of things in the piece. You know, I use a lot of images. I make sure they're images. I make sure I'm standing somewhere and there's something around me, you know, something that captures the person. I do stuff with my body. I'm a movement artist. So I try, by all means, to not make the medium as simple as it is, just theater. Let's infuse a lot of things into the work. Yeah.